Let's take a look at a special kind of trinomial. It's called a perfect square trinomial. And it'll take something, it'll be something that'll take a while to get used to recognize, but I want you to look for some of the clues. So we have these two other identities up here. A squared plus 2ab plus b squared, that's a perfect square trinomial. And if we can recognize it, we know that it factors to a plus b quantity squared. And likewise, if we see the same model, except it's a squared minus 2ab plus b squared, well, that's going to equal a minus b quantity squared. So I have three examples behind me that represent those types of an idea. X squared plus 6x plus 9. Well, can I recognize that the first term is a square, the last term is a square, and then the middle term is twice the first square and the second square. So if A, in this case, is B is x and B equals 3, then I know that A squared plus 2ab plus b squared, that factors to a plus b squared. And so let's see if that's the case. I have x squared plus 2 times a times b plus b squared. That equals x squared plus 6x plus 9. So I can recognize that this is in this form of a perfect square trinomial. And if it is, this factors straight to x plus 3 squared. So I wanted to demonstrate to you that this is a perfect square trinomial because it fits in this model that we have. Once I'm able to identify that, and sometimes I might be able to identify it by just visually inspecting it, I know that it factors straight into this a plus b squared, x plus 3 quantity squared. And we need to know what that means. We know that that means x plus 3 times x plus 3. It does not mean x cubed plus 3 cubed. It does not mean that. It means the entire quantity of x plus 3. That entire term is squared. X squared minus 16x plus 64. Likewise, it's a perfect square trinomial, so I'm able to recognize it's in that form. So A equals x, and B equals the square root of that last term, which is an 8. Therefore, my solution then, it's a minus, so it's going to fit into this second model that I have down here for perfect square trinomials, x minus 8 squared. And that's how it factors. Likewise, last one, let's recognize what its A and the B are. A here is a 5x, and a B is a 6. Recognize that. Again, I have to make sure that this is a perfect square trinomial, so I'm just going to double check. Is it a squared minus 2ab plus b squared? Does it fit into that? So I have 5x squared minus 2 times a times b plus b squared. And let me just work that down. 25x squared minus 2 times 5 times 6 is 60. X plus 36. So I do recognize that I can guarantee that it is a perfect square trinomial. So now, just to solve it, it's a 5x minus a 6 squared. That's how that particular problem, that particular perfect square trinomial factors. And if I can recognize a perfect square trinomial, I can take one of the shortcuts that I've been able to build over time.